Deb Brown here with Howard Boggess. Today, Howard, would you talk about your great-grandfather?
Well, my great-grandfather was George Reed Davis. And he joined the foot soldiers.
Cavalry?
No.
No, foot soldiers, okay.
He joined the foot soldiers. And he was in the 6th Iowa Infantry, that's what it was. And they called him out one morning, and they said, an officer come out the middle of them and said, all you men step three steps to my left. You men all step 3 steps to the right. And nobody knew what was going on. And he says, now, you are the infantry. You are the cavalry. You're the 6th Iowa Cavalry.
Let's see, and that was at Fort Laramie, right?
No, that's where he got discharged.
Oh, then what did he do after he got discharged? Mustered out, right?
Well, he, according to the stories that I was told, is that he said he was standing out in front of the Fort Laramie Fort, and Fort Laramie was just a bunch of buildings. It wasn't fenced in or anything,
Okay.
And when he was standing there, he was watching these Indians, these Crow Indians come by. And when he was watching these Indians, and hookah, come on, come with us. That's what the Crow Indians, braves that he had met, had said to him. So he when he was mustered out, his rifle and his clothes was all he had. Because when you got mustered out at that time, you was given your rifle. Military give you your rifle. And anyway, when he was, so he got, like I said, he got up and he went with the Crow Indians, and at that time, the Crow reservation was from down to Casper, Wyoming. I mean, you can see that map right over there.
Yep.
So that's the Crow Reservation, the original Crow Reservation, before the white man came along and kept breaking it down.
Stealing it.
Yeah.
Stealing it. So this led to something about horse stealing?
Well,
what happened there?
My great-grandfather, he came up here, and he was up here about 3 years.
No, he's Norwegian, that great-grandfather, right?
Oh, no. No, he
This was on your mother's side then?
Well, he was Irish and from the Netherlands.
Okay.
His grandfather come down to the Netherlands. In fact, and he came to Marysville, New York.
Okay.
And when he was at Maryville, New York, his grandfather built the first Singer sewing machine. So the kids, you know, they didn't know what to do, and you know, they moved to Iowa from New York, and then old George was in the 6th Iowa Cavalry. 6th Iowa Cavalry was fighting the Apaches. They fought the Indians along the West Coast.
Okay.
After they went to the West Coast and kind of got that settled to begin with, and then they came back to Fort Laramie, and then they went to New Mexico, Texas.
It's a lot of traveling.
Oh yeah, and all horseback.
Yeah, I was going to say, and not by car, all on horseback. Interesting. So when he left, when he mustered out, he went with the Crow, and at some point, I want to know how he met his wife.
Well, to tell you the whole story, old George Davis and these young Crow Indians, they went up in the Blackfeet country, which was kind of in northwest Montana.
Okay.
And they sold some horses. We didn't call it stealing horses.
What did you call it?
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you that Rose Williamson, who does those native tours, said that the Crow and Blackfeet would steal each other's horses. It was kind of a game.
Oh yeah.
You know, it wasn't like stealing. It was just to see how much you could get away with, and it went back and forth. Did that fit into that?
Mm-hmm.
That I wondered. Okay.
But see, the Blackfeet reservation, the Blackfeet didn't have a reservation at that time in Montana. There was Bloods in Canada.
Okay.
See, the Blackfeet in the United States are Bloods.
Bloods. Okay.
Yeah. No, they're actually Bloods. But they was named after their moccasins that was always black from walking in the soot and stuff, you know, and from the campfires and whatever, you know, and that's how they got the name of the Blackfeet.
So your old George was with the Crow when they were taking horses from the Blackfeet, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, old George, of the bunch that was there, he was the one that got captured by the Blackfeet, and the Blackfeet they cut him just a little bit all over his legs and his body and his arms and stuff. And he's supposed to bleed and get weak. And then he was turned loose and he was allowed to make the run. And he got over around Three Forks, Montana. He got over around Three Forks, and he got into the Missouri River, and and the few Indians that were still following, they lost him completely. And as he hid in the water, and then he got out of the water there, and he came over into the Crazy Mountains, and my great grandmother, whose name was Woman Who Went Into the Clouds, and she she was out berry picking with her family, and all of a sudden she screamed, and the men was always on guard. Women picked the berries. The men was on guard. And when she screamed, the men all came running, and the women all come running. They thought that she'd run into a bear or something, And she said there was a white man. There's a white man. And she was, I would say she was probably 13, 14 years old at that time when she found him. And then old George, he lived with that family for about 3 years. And then there was the first white man and the first Crow Indian woman that got married by the white man's law in Montana.
That's something.